Good morning, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich again, back for your first video blog of the day for Tuesday, April 26, 2016, around 7:25 in the morning, Billerica, Massachusetts. It's a yucky day out, clouds, some rain showers, or some wet snowflakes mixed in. Up in New Hampshire, the higher terrain, several inches of snow. So it's not that great today. Some news to report. Boston Red Sox beat the Atlanta Braves by a score of 1-0 last night in interleague play. In the NBA playoffs, the Oklahoma City Thunder eliminated the Dallas Mavericks in 5 games to advance to the second round Western Conference semifinals to face off against San Antonio Spurs and Charlotte Hornets, and Portland Trail Blazers evened up their series at 2 games apiece. The Clippers lost Chris Paul. He broke his hand. He's done for the season, so that could change everything. And in the Stanley Cup playoffs, there'll be a new Stanley Cup champion 2016. The St. Louis Blues beat the Chicago Blackhawks in 7 games. This is a big upset. I didn't even think the Blues were going to beat the Blackhawks, but they surprised a lot of people, and they'll be facing off against the Dallas Stars in the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And the Nashville Predators beat the Anaheim Ducks to force Game 7 Wednesday night at Pond. Well, it's called Honda Center now, but it's always be the Pond to me. The Ducks need to beat the Predators because to overcome their demons in Game 7s. And that's about it on the news. One more thing, it's Happy Hug a Friend Day. And the next video blog I'm doing, the first one of the day, is the top 10 greatest sports teams that never won a championship in their respective sports. This is a very impressive list. These teams had great regular seasons, but for one reason or another, they did not win a championship. And here they are, number 10 on this list of the greatest teams never to win a championship during the seasons that they were great. The Dallas Mavericks of the 2006-2007 NBA season. The Mavericks had the best record in the NBA in 2006-2007. This was Dirk Nowitzki's best year. He won the MVP of the NBA. But in the first round of the playoffs, the Mavericks faced off against the Golden State Warriors, and the Warriors beat them 4-2 in the first round of the playoffs, eliminated the Dallas Mavericks, and they ending their season. They didn't win the NBA championship. That was probably the most talented Mavericks team of the era. Number 9 on this list of the greatest professional sports teams that never won a title was the 1954 Cleveland Indians. The Cleveland Indians that year had 111 wins. They won the AL pennant, and they had an awesome lineup, a great pitching staff, but they faced off against New York Giants during the World Series. That World Series was famous for the catch by Willie Mays, and the Giants swept the Indians to win the championship. Number 8 on this list of the greatest professional sports teams never to win a championship was the 1993 San Francisco Giants. The San Francisco Giants won 103 games, 59 losses, but they won the same division of the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves won 1 game better, 104. And the Giants had Barry Bonds and Matt Williams and an awesome pitching staff, including Billy Swift and John Burkett. But this is when they had the American League and National League had 2 divisions, and it was the division winners going on to the league championship series. There was no wild card, so the Giants were shut out of the playoffs. That was probably one of the last great pennant races. Number 7 on this list of the greatest professional sports teams never to win a championship was the Green Bay Packers of 2011. The Green Bay Packers were 15-1, and they were defending the Super Bowl championships. Aaron Rodgers was awesome that year, won the MVP. But in the second round of playoffs, they faced off against the New York Football Giants, who won the NFC with a 9-7 record, and the Giants beat the Packers and in the second round, and that was the catapult the Giants to win the Super Bowl that year. Number 6 on this list of the greatest professional sports teams never to win a championship is the 1992-1993 Pittsburgh Penguins. The Penguins teams in 1992-1993 set a record for 17 straight wins during the season. It was led by Mario Lemieux, Jaromir Jagr, Ron Francis, Tom Barrasso on goal, Larry Murphy on defense. Mario Lemieux missed significant time because he was battling Hodgkin's disease, but he led the NHL in scoring, and he won the MVP. And Penguins had trouble in the first round with the New Jersey Devils. Then they face off against the New York Islanders, and it was a 7-game series. The Islanders won in overtime, and eliminating the Penguins' chance to three-peat as Stanley Cup champions, because they won in 1991-1992. That was the last playoff series win the New York Islanders would taste into 2016. Number 5 on this list of the greatest professional sports teams never to win a championship was the 1988-1989 LA Lakers. LA Lakers dominated the Western Conference of the NBA that year. They were going for the three-peat. They still had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It was us last season. Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Brian Scott, A.C. Green, and so many others. And Pat Riley coined the phrase three-peat. I think he owns a trademark. And Lakers were dominating the Western Conference playoffs, sweeping series after series after series, but they faced off against the Detroit Pistons in a rematch for the NBA championship of 1988. And the Pistons, this was the bad boys era of Isaiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer, Dennis Rodman, Rick Mahorn, and a few others. The Pistons beat the Lakers, and that destroyed the Lakers' dreams to three-peat for that period, but they would three-peat in 2000 through 2002. Number 4 on this list of the greatest professional sports teams never to win a championship was the 2001 Seattle Mariners. The Seattle Mariners 2001 won 116 games in the regular season, a record. And this is at a time when Ken Griffey Jr. and Alex Rodriguez left the Mariners, and a lot of them said it would be going downhill, but they surprised a lot of critics, having a solid player. They didn't have too many superstars on their team, but everybody was giving a great effort. In the division series of the American League, they faced the Cleveland Indians 5 tough games, but the Mariners advanced. Then they faced off against the New York Yankees. This was still in the midst of the New York Yankees dynasty, and the Yankees beat the Mariners in 6 games. The Mariners are one of 2 Major League teams not to be in a World Series yet. Kind of disappointing. Number 3 on this list of the greatest sports teams never to win a championship was the 1995-1996 Detroit Red Wings. The Red Wings set an NHL record that year by winning 62 games in the regular season. They were led by Steve Yzerman, and they had an awesome lineup then. And this was probably one of their best teams. They beat the Winnipeg Jets in the first round of the playoffs, 6 games. Then they had a tough 7-game series with the St. Louis Blues. St. Louis Blues got Wayne Gretzky, and they beat them 7 games with an overtime goal, but they faced the Western Conference Finals against their rivals, the Colorado Avalanche, and the Colorado Avalanche won because they had Patrick Roy and Joe Sakic and Claude Lemieux and Peter Forsberg, and it shattered Detroit Red Wings' dreams, because at that time they had a cup drought of over 40 years, but it would be broken the next year in 1997. Number 2 on this list of the greatest sports teams never to win a championship was the 2001-2002 Sacramento Kings. The Kings had the best record in the NBA that year. They were led by Chris Webber, Vlade Divac, and a couple of other players. They were a hustling team. They breezed by the playoffs the first 2 rounds pretty easily. Then they had the showdown with the LA Lakers to win, to see who would represent the Western Conference in the NBA Finals. A lot of experts says this was the true NBA Finals this year. That year, it was a hard-fought series. The Sacramento Kings almost won Game 6, but with phantom calls here there caused the Lakers to win Game 6, and then they took the momentum to win Game 7. A lot of people would it was a conspiracy because the NBA really did not want a Sacramento Kings New Jersey Nets finals because they thought that would be horrible for the league. They wanted the Lakers to three-peat the NBA. People think that was fixed, but professional sports aren't fixed, because if they were, they would be hearing from the government. And number 1 on this list of the greatest sports teams never to win a championship was the 2007 New England Patriots. The New England Patriots finished that season 16-0. This was the scandals with with Bill Belichick taping the other teams' offensive plays got caught, but the Patriots were running them like crazy. Tom Brady threw over 50 touchdown passes, and he won MVP. They had an awesome team, lots of great wide receivers. They beat the Jaguars and the Chargers in the playoffs for the AFC. Then they faced off against the New York Football Giants, who were a wild card team. The Giants gave the Patriots fits, but the Patriots got this game in hand. But in the final seconds, Eli Manning threw a touchdown pass, and it was over for the Patriots. And that's about it on that. Tomorrow will be about the top 10 worst sports teams of all time. And this is a pathetic list. 2 other video blogs coming today. First will be a 4-part series of the WWE when they go national. First will be about the Federation years. And the third and final video blog on that will be about former GSN program, GSN Live. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Button guy. Molly was blood. WCCO rocks and has nice legs. Elizabeth Hart so stunning. She's the best. Amy Swense's awesome. Julie Gower's the best. Kelly Nash of MLB Network has nice legs. And Barbara Gibbs of ABC 11 has that sweet southern accent. And in the words of WWE owner Vince McMahon, tonight in this very lane. See you later.